Hello. Yeah, good evening to one and all. So today we will discuss a topic index number. So within the index number, last day we discussed about what is meant by index number and what are the types of index numbers. Within the types of index number, we discussed about unweighted index numbers. So within the unweighted index number, there is a simple aggregate method and a relative aggregate method we discussed. So today we'll go through that See, previous chapter we discussed about these things. What is mean by price index and what is mean by relative price index, and how we can calculate what are the types of index numbers. There is the unweighted index number and weighted index numbers. So in unweighted index number, simple aggregate method and relative aggregate method. So in weighted index number, there are 5 types of index numbers are there, but as a part of graduate syllabus, we have only first three. There is the Laspeyer, Paasche, and Fisher. Okay. So in the graduate level, we have the only 3 index numbers. Okay. So today we will discuss about the what is meant by Laspeyer index and Paasche index, Fisher index. So how we can calculate them. So we can discuss. So these are the simple and aggregate relative method. So mainly today the class is focused on these 2 things only, the Laspeyer and Paasche. So if the time permits only, we'll discuss about the Fisher index number. Okay. So we can discuss the first thing is the Laspeyer index number. Laspeyer index number. So before knowing that Laspeyer index number, we need to discuss about what is mean by weighted index number. Weighted index number. So in its name only there is a weightage. So itself, see, when we are calculating some index, so we need to have their weightage. So what type of weightage we are going to add, and what it means that weighted index. So generally, if you take into account that an index number which takes into account the weight attached to the each of the items is called weighted index number. For example, when you are measuring a price of a certain commodity, when you are adding some weight of their quantity, for example, last day we discussed that. So in order to know that how much inflation has increases, at the same time we need to know that how much the price index has been increases. Okay, so in order to know that how much quantity they are purchasing. For example, your purchasing capacity is better than me, or your purchasing capacity more than me. Okay, in that case, we need to add the weightage. So at the base of weightage only, we need to calculate the index numbers. So simple here, which index numbers take into account that weight, nothing but they can attach the weight to the certain items. That is called weighted index numbers. Whatever we are going to measure the index numbers. So generally we discussed in the previous day, that is a price indexes. So when in order to measure that how much price increases or inflation is there, so we need to add that weightage. So weighting we can measure in terms of quantity here. So that is the thing that here a weightage index, the WIN, the weightage index, is a measure of changes in the prices of items and not in the weight of the items. So here, see, we are taking to consider that we are going to measure that how much the prices changes, but we are not able to discuss that how much weight of the items is changes. Okay, so that is the thing that keep in mind. And the base year quantity is used as weight. So as I told you that what is weight here, see, base year quantity. Base year quantity is used as weight. And sometimes we will use that base year quantity or current year quantity also we can use as a weight. And here the weighted index weights the individual prices by the some measures of the quantity sold. For example, quantity sold nothing but how much quantity the person has consumed and how much he paid for the particular commodity. For example, if you take into account, if you eat vegetable, for example, so for example, if you, within the vegetable, if you take into account tomatoes, so if you eat 2 kgs of tomatoes, how much the price for 1 kg? So 1 kg is equal to 30 rupees, for example. 30 into 2 kgs, that is 60 rupees, right? So here we are going to take that price value and weightage value. Price is 30 rupees, weight is at 2 kgs. For example, if I consume only 1 kg, I need to know that 30 into only 1, that is 30 rupees. If you consume 2 kgs, 30 into 2, the 2 is a quantity. So as we discussed that there are 2 types of weighted index numbers. Mainly, this is the Laspeyer, Paasche, Fisher, and Marshall, Edgeworth, and Bowles. So as I told you that we have only 3 Laspeyer, Paasche, Fisher index numbers in our syllabus. Then discuss one by one. Laspeyer index. So if the weights are based on the base period quantities, for example, as I told you that, so the weight, whatever we are considered that weight is based on the base year period quantity, that is called previous year quantity. The index is called Laspeyer index number, Laspeyer index. Or simply we can say that Laspeyer formula uses base year weights. Simple, we can consider only last year weight, whereas this taken into consider that is a other Paasche, they will consider that current year weight, whereas the Laspeyer base year quantity and the Paasche current year weight, current year quantity. So this index number likely to have an upward bias and may be said to be given upper limit to the price changes. Simple, you can keep in mind that this is this index number which will give an upward bias and maybe said to be given an upper limit. Upper limit nothing but whatever we are measuring some values within that Laspeyer, Paasche, and Fisher. So when you consider this value, Laspeyer value, which has the upper limit, nothing but we can get highest value. Okay, so there is an upward bias. Okay, so I will tell you that at the end of the class, after completion of the Laspeyer, Paasche, and Fisher, then we'll come to understand that what is the upward bias and what is the upper limit and lower limit. Okay, so the Laspeyer formula, the price is equal here L P01 Laspeyer price index. Here sum of P1 into Q0 divided by sum of P0 into Q0 into 100. Have you got the point? Sum of P1 Q0 divided by sum of P0 Q0 into 100. So as you understood this Laspeyer formula use a base year weight. Here we consider only base year weight. This is nothing but see P1 nothing but price in current year, Q0 nothing but quantity in base year. Here P0 price in base year into quantity in base year. Have you understood this concept clearly?
Yes, sir.
Durga Prasad, Anil, Anirudh, and Supriya.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Other people, Vamsi, Srujan, Somnath.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we will
With
come to know
example,
that.
it would be more clear, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will explain that how we can calculate the Laspeyer index. Okay. So what type of
Okay, sir.
what is the base year and what is the base quantity? Then we'll come to know that when you are calculating the index. For example, in your final exam, it may become, see, this is a very important question. So simple, they will ask that find out the Laspeyer price index number. Find out the Laspeyer price index. So they will give the data like this. Here commodity A, B, C, D. It may be give some car or fuel or vegetable, some other A, B, C commodities. For example, whatever you can take. For example, if you take A for other apple, B for some bat, C for other. Okay. If you consider A commodity, B commodity, C commodity. So they will mention the years also. You see in 2000 and 2020. In 2000, what is the price of the A commodity is 5 rupees. How much you purchased 15, for example. If you consider only individual price index, for example, in your home, A commodity is purchased in 2000. That is the price of the value is 5 rupees. How much you purchased 15 quantity. Then B price is 2 rupees and how much you purchased 100. So C commodity price is 15 and you purchased 10 in the 2000 year. For example, you want to know that how much the price increases from 2000 to 2020. That is the Laspeyer price index. Nothing but how much price index has been increases, right? So if you consider in 2000 A commodity, the price is 7 rupees, but how much you purchased? Only 20. Then B commodity, the price is 4 rupees. How much you purchased? 75. And C commodity, the price is 25 in 2020 and the quantity you purchased 10. Have you understood this type of question first? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then see, so they will give the this kind of question and we need to calculate the Laspeyer price index. Simple, I'm repeating that formula. Laspeyer price index, L is nothing but L P01 is equal, that is the L for nothing but Laspeyer, P01 nothing but price index. Okay, price index is equal sum of P1 into Q0 divided by sum of P0 into Q0 into 100. Okay, keep in mind. Then how we can calculate? See, is it visible above? Yeah. See here. So simple, you can write like this as per the whatever they mentioned in the question. So you need to enter like this, same thing. Then, so you can keep in mind that your formula. What is the Laspeyer family? LP01. So the formula is sum of P1 into Q0, sum of P0, Q0 into 100. So what is P1? See here, I mentioned P1, but here I did not mention the P1 here.
7.
So here, see. So a base here, nothing but we need to put P0, here Q0, here P1, here Q1. Okay. So they will not mention sometimes. Sometimes they will mention. Okay. So that's why I mentioned here P0, nothing but price in base year, quantity in base year. So into the total P1, nothing but price in current year and price in quantity in current year, right? So here, first what we have to do, here first we consider the P1 into Q0, P1 into Q0. That's why P1 into Q0. So what is the P1 value here? 7. 7 into Q0, 15. 7 into 15. How much? 105. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then next, the next one, P1 into Q0. P1 is nothing but how much? 4. 4 into 100. 400, right? Then P1, 25 into 10. 25 into 10, how much? 220. 250, sorry, 250, right? So then if you add all these three values, you will get sum. Sum is nothing but total value of P1, Q0. So when you add all those things, you will get 755. 755. Have you understood? Yes, please respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then, so we got first one. So then we need to calculate the P0 into Q0. P0 into Q0. So here we need to write P0 into Q0. What is P0 here? 5 into Q0, 15. 5 into 15, how much? 75. Then 2 into 100, 200. Then 15 into 10, 150. When you had all these three values, that is sum of P0 into Q0 is equal 425. Okay. So after getting these two values, simple you can substitute in the formula. So that is LP01 is equal sum of P1 Q0 how much? 755 divided by 425. So I am unable to write here. It will take more time. That's why I did 755 divided by 425. Are you able to understand this one?
Yes, sir.
You don't have any confusion, huh? Okay. If you have confusion, then I will rewrite. Okay. If you have any confusion or
Not required. Not required, sir. It's clear.
okay. 755 divided by 425. This is star nothing but here into okay, into 100 into 100. Then if you cancel 755 divided by 425, you will get 1.776. 1.776. So as this you can put into 100. So when you multiply with 100, you will get 177.6. 177.6. So this is Laspeyer price index. Laspeyer price index. Am I clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what you observe from doing by constructing this Laspeyer index number? See, we can easily observe. See, here base is nothing but as I told you in the earlier, the base index is 100, right? Base index value. So here the Laspeyer price index how much? 177.6. So 177.6 minus 100. How much you are going to get? 77.6, right? So what you are going to conclude here? So there is a 77.6% of the prices has been increased from 2000 to 2020. Am I clear, dear students?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood that? So simple, there is a 77.6% of the nothing but price has been increased, or 77.6% price has been increased from 2000 to 2020 of ABCD goods or commodities. So is it clear now?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then if it is understood only, then I will go for that patch. So once again, say if you understood only, then I will go for the second one. So all of you.
Yes, sir. Last periods is clear.
Last very clear. Okay. Just a minute. Then patchy. Just a minute. Then see the second one is a patchy. See the patchy formula uses the current year weight. So as I told you that earlier, the Laspeyer formula can use base year is a weight. Here patchy index number consider current year as a weight. Current year as a weight. So you can see that this index number likely to have downward bias, and maybe said to be given lower limit to the price changes. Nothing but see the last year index number will give the higher values of the price changes, whereas patchy index number which will give the lower limit of the price changes. Nothing but which will shows that higher limit, and the patchy shows the lower limit. Okay. So this is the equation. There is a patchy index number is equal to, there is a PP01. PP01 is equal to sum of P1 into Q1 divided by sum of P0 into Q1 into 100. Formula is, see, once again I am repeating, PP01 sum of P1 Q1 divided by sum of P0 into Q1 into 100. Simple difference you can remember, see, for the Laspeyer and patchy. So Laspeyer and patchy. So in the Laspeyer, so simple, there is no quantity, the base year is 0. The base year quantity is 0. But here the patchy, the quantity is current year. Simple, you can observe. So for example, sometimes you may not recollect this type of formulas. We can simple Laspeyer index number will take base year as a weight. Base year as a weight. There is a quantity. So quantity here in the Laspeyer P1 Q0 divided by sum of P0 Q0. But patchy, they consider the current year as a weight. There is a P1 Q1 sum of P0 Q1. Simple, you can remember. See here Q1 Q1, but whereas in term take into consider the last year Q0 Q0. Simple difference is this one only. Okay. Difference between the last year and patchy. So they are considered base year as a quantity. But whereas patchy index number, they are considered quantity is a current year. Okay. So that is they use as a current year as a weight. So here they will ask the question. So sometimes they find out the patchy index number. Sometimes they will ask find out the patchy index number. Patchy index number. So they will be the same. Like I have taken same example because in order to easy. So I have taken same example. Okay. So this is a formula. Then now we can calculate the patchy index number. So see the patchy index number, the PP01, PP01. There is a patchy price of index. There is sum of P1 Q1 divided by sum of P0 Q0 into 100. Okay. So first what we need to calculate? We need to calculate P1 into Q1. P1 into Q1. Then you need to write here P1 into Q1. Then what is P1 here? 7. And Q1 is how much? 20. 7 into 20, 140. I am putting here directly. Okay. 7 into 20, 140. 4 into 75, 300. 25 into 10, 250. When you add these three values, you are going to get, that is called sum of P1 into Q1. Sum of P1 into Q1 is equal to how much? 690. 690. Then Later, what we need to calculate, there is a sum of P0 into Q1, P0 into Q1. So here P0 into Q1. What is the P0 value is 5, and what is the Q1 value is 20. 5 into 20, how much? 100. Then 2 into 75, 150. Then 15 into 10, 150. When you had these three values, you will get sum of P0 Q1 is equal to 400. So after getting these two values, sum of P1 Q1 is equal to 690, sum of P0 Q1 is equal to 400. When you substitute in this formula, P1 P01 is equal to sum of P1 Q1 is how much? 690 divided by sum of P0 Q1 400. 690 by 400 into 100. Okay, then 690 divided by 400, you will get 1.725. 1.725. Then you can multiply with 100. So after multiplying with 100, you will get 172.5%. 172.5%. So here the Paasche price index value is 172.5. So what we can conclude here, the base index value is 100. 172.5 minus 100. So you will get 72.5%. So you can conclude that the price has been increased by 72.5% from 2000 to 2020. So this is our conclusion. So have you understood about how we can calculate the Paasche price index number?
Yes, sir, but we can't get the same value using both formulas, means Paasche and Lamers.
Paasche and Laspeyer.
Laspeyer, yes.
Yeah, that is the case. See, yeah, good question. And another people, what is may I know your name, please? Somnath?
Somnath, sir.
Yeah, okay. So any other people, do you have any doubt? Then I will clarify the Somnath doubt. Please respond it. Please unmute and you can respond. Anirudh and Supraja, Durga Prasad, so Srujan and Vamshi. See, yeah, Somnath, you have raised the question that we are not able to get the same answer when you are applying the both formulas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, when I am discussing the Laspeyer index, what I told you that, see, the Laspeyer formula will use the base year as a weight. Okay, base year as a weight. But Paasche index number, they will consider that current year quantity as a weight. Okay, so Paasche, for example, see, you are considering that base year index, base year quantity, but I am considering the current year quantity. Is there any difference or not? Okay, so Laspeyer value, they are the Laspeyer formula, they are considering base year as a quantity, base year quantity. Okay, Paasche, they consider that current year quantity as a weight. Have you understood, Somnath?
Yes, sir.
See, simply you can understood the years in the formula only. See Q1, Q1. But when you take into consider that Laspeyer, there is a Q0, Q0. Have you observed these things?
Yes, sir.
See, at the same time, there is some difference. See, when you take into account the Laspeyer price index number, the Laspeyer price index number, they have the upward bias and upper limit. Okay, upper limit. But when you take into account Paasche, so there is a lower limit. So in that case, see, when you consider that answers, there is a price index. In the Laspeyer value, what they have 177.6, I think, right? 177.6, right?
Yes, sir.
177. But whereas the Paasche value, how much you got it? 172.5. So here you are going to get highest value is 1777.6 and lowest value is 172.5. I observe. Hello?
Yes, sir. But we are calculating index number only, sir.
We are index number, but the formula is different. For example, you are considering as a base year quantity, but I am considering as a current year quantity.
Okay, sir.
See, for example, if you take into consider if you, in order to estimate your own price index number in your family, for example, what are the products you are consuming? So if we consider that last year prices, but if I consider the present year prices, see, generally, if you take into consider that when we are estimating the GDP also, so there is some base year's prices. Have you observed anywhere the base year GDP and current year GDP? There is a nominal GDP and real GDP.
I tried, but I can't understand it.
See, when they are going to estimate the GDP value, so they will consider the base year prices. Base year price, for example, see, when the, for example, the government people, the government employees, so how the government can increase their salaries on the base of the index numbers? What are the products they are consuming? That is the necessity commodities. For example, see, when before announcing that PRC something, so the people, the union people, there is a employment union people, they will raise the question that, so we are not able to spend that, we are nothing, but we are not able to purchase the commodities because the price has been increases. If you take tomato prices, onion prices, or rice prices, fuel prices, okay, whatever you are consuming, for example. So if you compare from 2015 to 2020, how much the price has been increases? For example, if you take fuel prices, gas prices, okay, oil prices, simple, whatever we are consuming. For example, best only three things. If you take oil, what is oil? Cooking oil, for example. If you take fuel, the petrol or diesel, okay, and if you take gas prices from 2014 to 2020, okay. So here they will ask the question that see, the price has been increases from 2014 to say 20, but we are not able to get that much salary. Nothing but, so please consider this my request to increase our salaries. Nothing but PRC, the pay revision committee or something. There is a PRC meaning is there. So they will take into consider such kind of commodities and how much the changes has been increases. Then meanwhile they will increase that much, increase their salaries. For example, see, if you don't mind, we see, if you consider that if the government consider these values A, B, C, such kind of commodities they will consider. For example, so they will take 2014 and 2020 prices. For example, see, so if they get 172.5%, right? So the base year is 100. So the difference is how much? 72.5%. So what the government will think that, so they need to increase in the salaries 72.72%. Am I clear? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
See, in that case only, the government will try to increase their salary by 72%, because so they need to consume the commodities now. Have you understood about?
Yes, sir.
So these are this kind of things only which will apply in our economics. Nothing but see, wholesale price index or consumer price index. When you are taking into account PRC, some employees, how they can increase the salaries. So on the basis of the price index only, they will increase their salaries. Okay. So in that case only, this kind of index numbers which we use. So am I clear, dear students, about this Paasche and Laspeyer?
Yes, sir.
So if you don't understand, then I will repeat again. If the time permits, I will repeat. So one by one, you can ask me question. That Anirudh, please unmute and you can ask me now.
No doubt, sir.
Don't you have any doubt from Laspeyer to Paasche? Okay. Then Supraja, are you there? Durga Prasad?
Sir, no doubt, sir.
So not clear. Srujan? Srujan and Vamshi.
No, sir.
No doubt. Okay. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss that Fisher index number. See, in the Fisher index number, nothing but is a combination of Laspeyer and Paasche. Nothing but is a we can come to know that how we can carry the Fisher index number. So the Fisher index number can take the both, okay, base year quantity as well as current year quantity. So tomorrow we'll come to know that how we can calculate the Fisher index number. Okay, thank you once again. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to get more updates.